Is violent crime the most feared type of crime in the U.S.? And if it is, how rational is that fear when compared to violent crime statistics? To find out, we've talked to more than 15,000 Americans over the past 3 years about their perceptions and personal experiences with violent crime. Approximately 7 in 10 Americans think crime of all types is on the rise, despite an overall downward trend for the past 2 decades. And no, violent crime isn't the crime folks think is most likely to happen to them. That dubious honor goes to property crimes like burglary and package theft. If you want to know how many Americans are worried about property crimes like burglary, subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for our companion video that dives into America's perceptions and experiences with property crime. When we talked to people about violent crime, we included crimes like murder, sexual assault, robbery, and aggravated assault. Across the country, your odds of falling victim to one of those violent crimes is just under 4 in 1,000. But 4 in 10 Americans think it's likely that one of those crimes could happen to them. The states that are the most concerned about violent crime include New York, Illinois, Nevada, and Alabama. The states that worry the least about violent crime are Vermont, Oregon, Wyoming, and North Dakota. It would be easy to assume that places with the highest rates of crime would also be the most worried, but that assumption isn't always correct. While 2 of the most worried states land in the top 10 when you look at actual violent crime rates, the other 2 are on the lower end. New York has the lowest violent crime rate of the bunch, with 3.6 violent crimes per 1,000, just below the national average. Illinois is just over that national average with 4.1 incidents per 1,000 people. But Nevada and Alabama are more on target. They have the 7th and 5th highest violent crime rates in the country, with 4.9 and 5.1 incidents per 1,000 respectively. But not all violent crimes get reported. Between 2006 and 2010, an estimated 3.4 million violent crimes per year went unreported. In 2019, the FBI recorded a total of 1.2 million violent crimes. If you added that to the nearly 3.5 million crimes that go unreported each year, the national violent crime rate would jump from 3.7 incidents per 1,000 people to nearly 14. 1 in 10 Americans told us they've had a personal experience with violent crime in the past year. That's a whole lot more than the 3.7 violent crimes per 1,000 that were reported to the FBI. When you look at the states that reported the most personal experience with violent crime, the fear matches more closely to the reality. 3 of the top 4 most concerned states also report higher than average experience with violent crime. New York, the most worried state in the nation, also reported the most experience with violent crime at 23%. Next comes Alabama, with the 2nd highest violent crime experience, 19%. Illinois reported 13%, and Nevada is right on par with the national average of 10%. We've also seen some drastic changes in violent crime in states across the nation. Since 2019, the number of Americans reporting a personal experience with violent crime has climbed 3%, but some states have taken much bigger leaps. Ohio jumped 105%, and Idaho is up 100%. Mississippi rose 95%, and South Dakota saw a 66% increase in the number of people reporting an experience with violent crime. Despite that 100% increase, Idaho still reported one of the lowest experiences of violent crime in the entire country, with just 4%. There was only 1 state that reported no experience with violent crime, and that was New Hampshire, where 8 in 10 people feel safe calling the Granite State home. Unsurprisingly, New Hampshire is the 10th least worried state when it comes to violent crime, and it also has the 2nd lowest violent crime rate in the country. New Hampshire also saw a 17% drop in reports of violent crime experience since 2019. Other states where violent crime experience is dropping include Kansas, which is down 40%, and Massachusetts, which dropped 24%. In fact, Kansas and Massachusetts are the only states that have seen a dip in violent crime experience every year of our survey. If the State of Safety survey has taught us one thing, it's that our fears and perceptions don't always match reality. And how you perceive your own personal safety might depend on where you live. To find out what's keeping your neighbors up at night and to see all the stats for your state, Check out the complete State of Safety report at Safewise.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you won't miss our follow-up report on America's concerns and experiences with property crime.